As Star Trek retires Scotty, his last words settle what makes the franchise great. For nearly 6 decades, few characters have embodied the spirit of Star Trek quite like Montgomery Scotty Scott. The miracle-working chief engineer of the USS Enterprise has always been more than the man who kept the ship running. Scotty represents something essential about Star Trek itself: optimism, ingenuity, and an unshakable belief that humanity can solve any problem with intelligence and determination. Now, as the franchise officially retires Scotty as an active legacy figure, his final words serve as a fitting conclusion, not just for the beloved engineer, but for what Star Trek has always stood for: the man who kept the Enterprise alive. Introduced in Star Trek, the original series, Scotty quickly became one of the franchise's most recognizable characters. Played by James Doohan, the Scottish engineer was the man responsible for keeping USS Enterprise, NCC 1701, flying, even when the odds were impossible. Whenever Captain James T. Kirk needed a miracle, he turned to Scotty. And Scotty almost always delivered. "I'm giving her all she's got, Captain," became more than just a catchphrase. It became shorthand for perseverance in the face of impossible challenges. Scotty was the personification of the franchise's belief that problems, no matter how daunting, could be solved through intelligence, creativity, and teamwork. That philosophy sits at the very heart of Star Trek. Scotty was never just comic relief. While Scotty often provided humor, his importance to the series went far deeper. The engineer represented the quiet heroism of the crew members who weren't sitting in the captain's chair. In many ways, Scotty was the most relatable character aboard the Enterprise. He wasn't the legendary captain like Kirk, the brilliant science officer like Spock, or the compassionate doctor like Leonard McCoy. He was a working engineer. Scotty fixed things. But Star Trek repeatedly showed that fixing things, machines, ships, even impossible situations, was just as heroic as commanding them. Episodes like The Doomsday Machine, Relics, and many others revealed Scotty's real strength: his relentless belief that technology, used responsibly, could help humanity survive and thrive. That belief became one of the franchise's most enduring themes, a legacy that spanned generations. Scotty's story didn't end with the original series. The character returned throughout the Star Trek film series, 1979 to 1991, helping guide the Enterprise through some of its most dramatic adventures. From the devastating battle in Star Trek II, the Wrath of Khan, to the political tensions of Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, Scotty remained the steady heart of the engineering deck. But perhaps his most emotional appearance came years later in Star Trek: The Next Generation, in the episode Relics. There, the aging engineer awakens decades after the Enterprise's era has passed. Suddenly surrounded by new technology and unfamiliar faces, Scotty confronts a painful truth: the galaxy has moved on without him. Yet the episode ultimately reminds viewers that Scotty's values, innovation, determination, and loyalty never go out of style. In fact, they are exactly what the future needs. Scotty's final words capture Star Trek's soul. As Star Trek gradually transitions into a new era of stories, retiring long-standing characters is inevitable. But the franchise chose to give Scotty something meaningful: a farewell that reinforces what the universe has always been about. Rather than a dramatic or tragic ending, Scotty's final words reflect his lifelong philosophy. The legendary engineer doesn't speak about glory or heroism. Instead, he focuses on the future, the endless possibilities that exploration offers. That perspective perfectly captures the core message that Gene Roddenberry envisioned when he created Star Trek in 1966.